Salt Lake County is an incredible place to live, but there's a lot of relocating buyers that find out too late. Where you land in the county actually matters just as much as choosing Salt Lake to begin with. From the foothills of the Wasatch to the valley floor, from Legacy Parkway to the point of the mountain, these areas may look similar on a map, but they're completely different to actually live in. And the trade-offs aren't always obvious until you've already unpacked. I've worked with hundreds of buyers over the entire state of Utah, and today I want to walk you through 6 areas. Not to sell you on any of them, but to give you an honest picture of what each one of them costs you and what it will give you back. Let's start with South Jordan, and specifically Daybreak, because it's one of the most asked about communities in the entire state right now, especially among people looking to relocate to Utah. Daybreak is a master plan community built around a lake and miles of trails. It's new, it's clean, and the photos sell themselves. But here's what the photos don't show you. Daybreak is still actively building out, particularly in the newer Daybreak Founders Park area, as well as phases 3 and 4 near Mountain View Corridor. If you buy a home near the active construction perimeter, you're gonna have dust, dirt roads, framing noise, and new subdivision traffic patterns for up to 3 years, depending on where you land. Buyers that are coming from out of state may be surprised by this, the pace and scale of the active development when they move in. The other thing to factor in, South Jordan and Daybreak sit at the southwest corner of the Salt Lake Valley. If you're commuting to downtown Salt Lake, the U of U, the airport, you're looking at 30 to 45 minutes on a good day. During peak hours, and you have to travel on I-15 or Bangerter, that can become an hour or even more. Now, the honest upside. Daybreak is genuinely one of the best designed communities in the state of Utah. The lake is real, the trails connect to everything. The amenities are already built, and they're extensive. Parks, gyms, community gardens, playgrounds, swimming pools, clubhouses, community events. There's the TRAX light rail system there, and it's continuing to expand. Buyers getting in now are getting in ahead of the infrastructure premium. If the commute is going to be a deal breaker, then keep watching. But if you have a job nearby or you happen to work from home, South Jordan might make a lot more sense. Herriman is the fastest growing city in Salt Lake County, and that will tell you just about everything you need to know, both the good and the bad. The homes are newer, you have potential to get a little bit larger lots, and you do get a little bit more for your money than you would in other areas of the valley. If you're a family that's looking for a home with 4 or 5 bedrooms for under $600,000, Herriman is going to be at the top of your search list. But growth is also a major challenge. The Mountain View Corridor is still being extended southward, and it is one of the major arteries that run through Herriman. Unfortunately, there's not any east to west freeway, which makes commuting a bit of a challenge. The city's road infrastructure is continually catching up with housing. They're building homes faster than they can keep up with the demand on the roads. Especially when you're talking about some of those bad winter mornings, getting to Bangerter or I-15 from Herriman, you're gonna need a large cushion of time added to your commute. The other thing that a lot of buyers from out of state don't anticipate regarding Herriman, it sits at about 5,000 feet of elevation and it gets a little bit more snow. The foothills on the west side of the valley are pretty incredible, but if you're coming from a place without real winters, there's gonna be an adjustment. So you may wanna visit in January and not just July. Although we have had some pretty mild winters the past couple of years, so you just never know. What Herriman does exceptionally well is brand new construction inventory. You can still find new builds here with real warranties, modern open floor plans, and great builder incentives that you can't find in many other parts of the valley. So if that's a priority, then Herriman should be at the top of your list. Next up, Sandy and Midvale represent a sweet spot for a lot of Salt Lake County buyers. You have an established infrastructure, solid commute access, and a wide range of price and style options. Sandy in particular gives you direct access to I-15 and 215, as well as TRAX light rail, and you're within just 20 minutes of downtown Salt Lake in most conditions. The Big Cottonwood and Little Cottonwood canyons are essentially in your backyard, which is a legitimate lifestyle differentiator if hiking, skiing, or climbing is part of why you're moving here. The trade-off in Sandy is that you're buying into an older housing inventory. Many of the homes there are built in the 1970s through the 1990s. Although there are some newer pockets off of 123rd South and a few other areas, for the most part you may be looking at older kitchens, smaller lots, and some floor plans that may not match what people moving from newer suburbs are looking for. Midvale is worth a closer look than many buyers initially give it. It's seen some genuine revitalization, especially along State Street and the Bingham Junction corridor, and you can find some more affordable entry points there than anywhere else with that type of Central Valley access. The Union Heights area specifically has some great areas that often get overlooked. For buyers that want central access and don't want to have to wait for infrastructure to catch up, this is your zone. If Salt Lake County had a best of both worlds pocket, a lot of longtime locals would point to Cottonwood Heights and Holladay. These cities sit at the east bench of the Salt Lake Valley. They're tucked up against the Wasatch foothills. and they offer something genuinely rare: proximity to outdoor recreation and proximity to the urban core in established neighborhoods with mature trees and incredible schools. But that combination unfortunately carries a premium, and the entry point for home prices reflects that. Median home prices in Cottonwood Heights are among the highest in the valley. Inventory is tight, and when good homes come up, they tend to go really quick. The other honest challenge here is the canyon roads. If you're skiing or headed into the Cottonwood Canyons on the weekends, you need to understand that the canyon entrances get really congested on those powder days. Now, Holladay specifically is one of those areas that tends to hold its value through the market cycles. It has a small town feel inside of a major metro area. There's good restaurants, there's walkable areas, and they have larger lot sizes that give you an actual yard. If your budget reaches, then Holladay is worth a serious look. Buyers who move to Holladay very rarely regret their decision. West Valley and West Jordan are some of the county's best value opportunities right now, and I say that having sold homes across the entire state of Utah. A lot of the biggest challenge with the West Bench is perception. These cities don't have the same brand recognition like Sandy and Cottonwood Heights have, and unfortunately they get a little bit of a bad rap overall. But there's a lot that's changed in these areas over the years. West Jordan in particular has seen a lot of new development. The housing stock has been genuinely upgraded. TRAX now runs through both of these cities, and the price differential compared to other areas of the valley means your dollar is going to go considerably further. So for buyers that are being priced out of their first choice of neighborhood, especially first-time buyers and those that need additional square footage, places like West Jordan and West Valley definitely deserve a visit before you make any decision. The value is very real. The commute, especially with things like TRAX, is manageable, and the stigma is, in many cases, behind the curve. Now for the last area, and I'll be honest, it's one that surprises most out-of-state buyers when they actually visit. It's the Sugar House to Millcreek corridor on the east side. This is Salt Lake County's most urban, walkable, and culturally rich pocket. Sugar House has a real neighborhood main street. Millcreek incorporated a few years ago and has been intentionally building out its restaurant and art scene. You're minutes from the U of U Research Park and downtown, and TRAX and the bus rapid transit run right through it. The challenge is purely inventory and price. These neighborhoods have smaller lots, older homes, many of them built between the 1940s and the 1960s, and very limited in new construction. You are buying character and location, not square footage or anything new. If you're coming from a larger home in a newer suburb, the adjustment is going to be real. But for a specific type of buyer, one who enjoys walkability and works at the U of U or downtown, or simply wants a neighborhood that feels like a place and not just another subdivision, this area is hard to match anywhere else in the county. Here's the framework that I would leave with you before you start making decisions. If you can tolerate some construction and want appreciation upside, South Jordan and Herriman is where it's at. If you want commute efficiency and established infrastructure, Sandy and Midvale give you that. If outdoor access and long-term value retention matter the most, Cottonwood Heights and Holladay are hard to beat if your budget reaches. If you're optimizing for value and don't want to overpay, the West Benches and places like West Jordan or West Valley deserve a real look. And if you want urban walkability inside of a single-family home neighborhood, the East Side is in a category of its own. Really, no part of Salt Lake County is a bad bet long-term. The growth fundamentals here, the tech sector expansion, the outdoor recreation economy, the infrastructure investment, make this one of the stronger long-term real estate markets in the country. But buying the right home in the wrong neighborhood for your life is a mistake that may take years to correct. And that's really the point of everything that I just covered. If you're relocating to Salt Lake County and want to talk through your specific situation, your commute, your price point, your timeline, reach out. That conversation is absolutely free. It's what I do every single day with people just like you. And it may save you from making a decision that you'll regret on the other side of the move. I'll leave all my information in the description below. Feel free to reach out if you have any questions, or if there's anything at all that I could help you with related to real estate here in Utah. And if you wouldn't mind subscribing, I'll be posting a video every single week about what's happening in the real estate market and what it's like living in Salt Lake City. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.